Boom! What's up, you guys? Okay, I never shot an intro to the lift vid, so I'm doing that right now. So this is actually the next day, and next night actually, and the lift night was last night. I could say this. I can say this without giving anything away. Got some very big numbers for me last night. We kind of decided last minute to make it a max night. Hector did not do so well last night. It was an off night for him. Probably not going to show a whole lot of his lifts. I'm going to show some of them, a couple of his lifts, but he just was not hitting the numbers. To be honest with you, and I didn't bring the camera last week, he got a 395 deadlift, which was completely shocking to me. He had never hit that before. That was his highest number. But last night, he had issues with it was hard at 365, which is 30 pounds lighter. Now, before anybody says that's only 30 pounds, remember when you're doing a deadlift, an addition of 10 pounds feels like a lot. Which is why for the longest time, 400 pounds was my highest. That's a little hint. That's a little hint. I'm not going to say any more. Just watch this video and you'll see what I mean. Afterwards, after the lift stuff, I'm going to come back at you and I'm going to explain a little bit about my method to these lifts. And hopefully that'll clear things up a little bit. All right? So watch this. Enjoy it. For those who have given me inspiration over the past couple of years to lift, I thank you so much. I got my my powerlifting guru, I call him, named Big Robert. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know if he really wants to be on this vlog or not, but I'm going to say his name. I'm calling Big Robert, and he is my, I guess, again, call him my powerlifting guru. He's the one that's given me tips and taught me lessons about how to lift, why to lift, and what keeps you coming back for more. All right? As far as amping up, that is a very personal thing, but I am going to tell you what my method is for amping up. All right? So watch this, enjoy it. I hope you have fun watching it, and if you want to throw me some inspiration, go ahead and do it. Leave some comments down below. Give me a thumbs up, a like, whatever. Hope you guys enjoy it. All right, I'll catch you guys after the video. Peace. Got it. Get tight. Get tight. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. Nice. Really? Give me. Got it. Pull. Pull. Oh, yeah. Don't fall down this time either. Fuck, baby. Alright. What is that, 20 or 30 seconds of this? Dude, I didn't think I was gonna get that. It looked easy, man. I'm serious, that bottom part, when it was going up, it got up to the middle of my shit, I thought that was it. It definitely slowed down, but after it slowed down. You know what sped it up? Did you see it? I noticed when it sped up. Yeah. Yeah. When you grunt it. Yeah. That's when it went up. Third time now. Closer. Go. No. Go. There. Go. 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 395. Pull it. Tight. Pull. No. Get it up. No. Get it up. No. What happened there? How'd you get it last week, but not this week?
It's an off day for me.
Excuses, excuses.
Whole day's been off.
Well, he attempted 395. No dice. So, you see it, you saw it. 275 pound, 1 rep max for bench press, 405 pound deadlift. The truth is, that's not the first time I've actually hit that lift. That was actually the third time. The first time was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I managed to pull it, and then it was 3 weeks ago, because for 2.5 weeks I couldn't pull it. For some reason, it'd come like this far off the ground, and then it would stop, and I wouldn't be able to pull it. Then last week, that one I told you Hector pulled his 395, I managed to pull a 405 that night, and it was glorious. For those 2.5 weeks, I thought it was a fluke that I pulled that for some reason. I know I shouldn't think that. When you do a lift like that, it's not a fluke. There's no way it's a fluke. There's no accidents. That kind of thing when you lift a big number. For you, there's no accident to that. That it happened, but in my mind, it was a fluke. Last week, I remember when I got to the top, when I did the lockout, I just yelled out, "No more flukes, yeah, motherfucker!" And I threw the bar down, pulled the belt off, and all of a sudden the pressure was released, and I collapsed my knees again. Like you saw on the last one, I said no collapsing, no falling down. As soon as I turned around, I couldn't stand up. It's the weirdest feeling. It's the greatest feeling in the world. Now, amping up. I saw a phrase from 8 Man Strong. It says, lift angry. That's something I have tried for a long time to figure out how to do. Lift angry. Because I've always felt that is what gets you your big lifts. What gets you your good lifts. How do I amp up? Well, okay, let's start with this. At the beginning of the night, Hector was being a little more irritating than normal. He's a kid, but he was being irritating, like to the point where I actually had to tell him to stop. And he said he was purposely trying to anger me to lift a big lift since we had agreed it was going to be a max night. And I had to stop this. I had to stop mid, like in between sets, and explain to him the anger I get from to lift with. It can't be external. I have walked out on somebody before, halfway through the night, because they were being stupid. I walked out and didn't even say anything. I just went to the locker, grabbed my stuff, and took off. The anger for the big lift has to be internal. Has to come from within. Now, this is for like you metaphysical and psychology fans out there. There is a part in all of us called the shadow. It is a particular part of you that is capable of doing things you never thought you could do. And I mean bad things. We're all capable of some kind of horrid evil. And that's the dark side of you. We all have a dark side. I'm going to fully admit it, I have a dark side. But a long time ago, if I really had to count, 13 years, 14 years ago, 15 years ago, I discovered my shadow, my dark side, my really mean, evil, bad side. The darkness within, if you will. A couple years after I became aware of that side of me, I was confronted with it. Now, when people grow up and are confronted with their shadow, they usually make there's a couple options they pick. One, they come to terms that they have it, and they try to lock it away in a deep part of their mind, and deep in the recesses of their mind, and they keep it down, chained up. Two, they allow the darkness to overrule them. Thus we have psycho killers, serial killers, criminals, people in prison for like truly evil. And the ones that are also in those maximum security things where they're in permanent isolation for life. And then you get the anomalies like me. I confronted it, I accepted it, and it just kind of sits there. I guess you can say I made a deal with it a long time ago. I will feed it the anger it needs as long as it allows me to draw from it when I need it. When I started lifting years ago, and again I started lifting and I quit, and I started again and I quit again. When I started lifting, I would tap into it a little bit. But I had a fear of letting it overtake. When I started this powerlifting phase, which is the first time I've done it, when I started 2 years ago, I started to dig into it a little bit more. I started to tap into that a little more. And what I started to discover was I didn't have to be afraid of it consuming me. I spent a long enough time being aware of its existence. We have this symbiotic relationship, I guess you can say. I have a symbiotic relationship with my shadow. That's great. I know it's a weird thing to say. It's very strange. But I no longer have to fear it overtaking me. But it's there. The emotions are there. The feeling is there. My method, which I don't show a lot of on here only because to a spectator, to a bystander, somebody who doesn't know how to tap into that inner anger, it looks like nothing. Okay, so when I'm doing my amping up, I'm walking around, pacing back and forth, and sometimes I'll kneel on the floor and stare in one particular direction. What I'm doing is I'm reaching deep down inside, and pulling out some pretty dark stuff. I'm not going to go into detail as to what kind of dark stuff. It's pretty bad. Just know this, if that stuff were to ever come out, all my friends and family would look at me as if they don't know me. That's how bad it is. But I started to realize I cannot be afraid that it's going to consume me. because again, that dark part of me, we have a symbiotic relationship. It's like the most perfect yin yang relationship right now. It doesn't overtake me. I tap into it. I use that anger that I have fed it, that I've continuously fed it for a long time, and I use that to feel myself for the lift. That's what what my amping up is. That time spent staring, doing the heavy breathing, pacing back and forth, it is tapping into that dark part of myself. Thus is the phrase, lift angry. And before I thought it was just, the get pissed off at it. No, lifting angry is a lot deeper than that. Like Robin Williams has once said about comedy, it comes from a very dark place. I also practice one thing that comes from a very dark place, magic. I'll go into that in a future video. But the other thing that I do when I dig deep into the dark place is the big lifts. Yeah. Am I proud of it? Hell yeah. Is it worth the pain and suffering that I go through the days after? Hell yeah. I'm actually suffering a little bit right now. That's why I leaned back. Earlier, somebody sitting up talking to you. I'm actually leaning into the couch right now. Why? Because my lower back muscles are shot. My legs, my glutes, my knees, everything is wrecked. But is it worth it? Bet your ass it is. Keeps it coming back. It's like when you go to play golf. Those of you who golf will know what I mean. You get on a par 4. You swing that club, and you're like 5 feet away from the green. Or you even swing it and land it on the green. Or a long par 3. Maybe you're on a long par 3. You're on like 150 par 3. Take one swing. You go find your ball, and it's sitting three feet from the cup. Yeah, that kind of stuff keeps you coming back for more. 275-pound bench press, that's keeping me going back for more. It was not 8 months ago. 9 months ago, I was shooting for that 225, which was the big lift, the big hurdle, and I broke that one, and now I'm at 275. The deadlift, the 405 was the big hurdle. I got that. Keeps me going back for more. So, I hope this video has inspired somebody. I want to thank everybody for inspiring me. I got to thank my buddy Hector. He does listen. When I told him to stop being irritating, to create anger, he stopped. He understood what I meant, that it has to be internal. I want to thank everybody who's kind of supported me in this endeavor. It's a personal achievement thing. I don't plan to go competitive. I just really don't. I don't want to. I'm doing this just for personal gains, Look back on these vlogs and see what I lifted and say, let's go back and lift some more. That also means I gotta dig down deeper for that, into that dark side of me, to pull that anger, to use it to my best abilities. So, I hope this has inspired some of you. Again, I want to thank those who inspire me, and as I've been saying recently, appreciate what you have. Don't dwell on what you don't have, alright? I hope everybody's happy. I hope everybody's healthy to the best of their abilities, and I'm going to catch you guys in the next vlog. The next vlog is a little bit of an emotional one. To be honest, I have already actually shot it. I promised you in a couple of videos that I would explain myself, why I've been in a funk, and the next vlog is that. It is that. It is a little emotional, it's a little sad, but it's one that needed to be done. I needed to get over a particular hurdle in my life, and I think it kind of worked out. So, stay tuned for that. That's coming very shortly. And I hope everybody has a good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and good morning, whatever time you're watching this. Did you see that? Did you catch that? Catch that reference? If you did, comment. If you didn't, you need to go back and watch some movies. Alright, I'll catch you guys on the next one. And root for me. My next big goal for the bench press is a 315. 315, that's 3 plates. My next big bench press goal, 495. That's the big one. The little baby steps up to there, just as long as I'm making more than the previous max lift, I don't care. As long as I'm making little steps up, I'm happy. But the next big goals, the next plates: 495 deadlift, 315 bench press. Might be about a year, 2 years, who knows. Anyway, again, have a good one. I hope again everybody's happy and healthy. I'll catch you on the next vlog. If you are sensitive, get some tissues ready. I'm not joking. I'm not over exaggerating it. It was emotional for me too. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.